hole in the bottom of my shoes. Honey, let me be your solid dog.
Yeehaw!
Let me be your solid dog. I won't be your gal at all. Honey, let me be your solid dog. Look here, Sal, I know you. A run-down stocking and a wore-out shoe. Honey, let me be your solid dog. Let me be your solid dog, or I won't be your gal at all. Honey, let me be your solid dog. Down in the wildwood, sitting on a log, finger on a trigger and an eye on a hog. Honey, let me be your solid dog. Let me be your solid dog. I won't be your gal at all. Honey, let me be your solid dog. I pulled the trigger and the gun let go.
Hey, Mike.
Shot in Mexico. Honey, let me be your solid dog. Let me be your solid dog, or I won't be your gal at all. Honey, let me be your solid dog. Once more. Let me be your solid dog, or I won't be your gal at all. Honey, let me be your solid dog.
Yeehaw! Way to go, Andy. Andy Griffith there on a Monday night on Haps Broadcasting Network. Thank you all for showing up, being here. I do appreciate it a whole bunch. I do. I really do. Thank you for showing up. Well, folks, what I have to talk about today is sort of comical. This happened a couple of days ago, and I figured you all might like to hear this because this is an experience that I got that I hope I never have again. A buddy of mine came down. I've been vacating really bad over for a week, just on vacation, not doing anything. And my buddy come down, hadn't seen him in a while. And so I told him the Bristol Mall was closed. The Bristol Mall is closed, it's shut down. But they built this place called the Pinnacle now. It's in Bristol, Tennessee. It's right off the intersection of 11W and 81, where the world's largest guitar-shaped building is. It's still in the Guinness World Book of Records. And so we were, hey, Joanne, hey, Space Cow. And so we were going to go to the Pinnacle. Well, it's a really big place. It's almost like a small city. And they've taken all the stores out of the mall, and they got these really big buildings. Honest to goodness, I saw the world's largest Parks belt. They call it just belt now in the South. That is the biggest rectangular shaped building I've ever seen in my life. It is at least 5 or 6 car lengths long, normal sized cars. It's even longer than that. And it's like 5 stories in the air. It looks like you could take a direct hit from an atomic weapon and nothing would happen to you. You'd be safe. So we were driving around just looking at everything, and there's restaurants, like Steak and Shakes there, and Chick-fil-A's over there, and all these different restaurants, Panda Express and everything. So we're driving around and said, hey, you know what? I haven't eaten in a Waffle House in a long time. Have you? I said, well, no, not really. Well, there's a Waffle House over there. Why don't we just go in there and eat? I said, well, sure, if that's what you want to do. He said, yeah, it's been a while. I just want to go ahead and go on in. Mistake number 1. So we go in to the parking lot. There's 1 car in the whole parking lot. That's it. So we get out, we walk in, and one end of the booths are tied off, at the far end down there. And then there's 3 booths, and then you've got the little, the bar seats, the stools up there at the front. So I said, let's just sit at this one right here. And so that's fine. And they had plastic between the booths, like that's going to stop COVID-19 anyway. And so my friend said, I'm going to go hit the head. So I'm sitting there waiting, and all of a sudden the table starts shaking like it's an earthquake. Seriously, it's like it's an earthquake. It's unbelievable. I'm holding on the table. I didn't know what was going on. I said, is there a machine right by this thing? And I was holding on. My friend's still in the head, I said, what in the world's going on, And so out of the corner of my eye, I see something move, but I don't know what it is. And I'm still feeling the shaking, the vibration of the floor. I'm not making this up. This is not some crazy story, by the way. And next thing I know, I am hit from behind, knocked forward in that booth. A plastic thing hits me in the back of the head, knocks me halfway across the table. And I'm just totally shocked. I don't know what in the world's going on. I turn around, and there is this behemoth of a man. He's 6'4", 6'5", weighs 600 pounds if he weighed an ounce. And he had just sat down in that booth. But he I guess where he was trying to squeeze himself in that little booth, it must have been causing the vibrations on the floor in the Waffle House. And so my friend comes back and said, "What's going on?" I said, "That guy like to kill me." I said, "Whoa, that's a big dude." I said, "Don't say nothing. It's a big dude, man." And so we go to order our food. And the guy's moving around. I mean, it's like I'm on a ship in a Bering Strait. I mean, up and down. He moves and the whole thing shakes. So this guy comes over and said, "Hey, I'm a cook. I'm from Florida. We don't have anybody working today except me and the manager. And you notice on the door it says we need cooks and people to work here." He said, "We can't get anybody to work." And I looked at my boss. I said, "Okay." I said, "I'll tell you what. I'll have a double cheeseburger with bacon, and I want a side order of hash browns scattered, smothered, and covered." That means the hash browns get cooked on both sides really good. You put cheese and you put grilled onions on top of it, and they send it to you that way. My friend said, "I think I want to eat breakfast." And so my friend orders this big breakfast thing. It comes with a waffle, eggs, grits, and everything else in it, toast. And they asked, "What kind of side meat you want?" And so this boy from Florida was telling my friend about the different kinds of ham. He said, "Well, we got sweet ham, we got country ham." He said, "What's country ham?" He said, "It's a little bit more salty." I said, "Okay, we'll just get that." So we're sitting there, and I looked, I said, "Have you ever eat country ham?" "No." "Be prepared for a surprise." So we're sitting there waiting. Finally gets there. The guy from Florida who said, by the way, he said, "I really don't live here. I was on my way to Sturgis for the bike rally, and my van broke down, didn't have any money, so I got stuck here, and I've worked at this Waffle House now, and hoping I can save up enough money to go back home to Florida." Him and the manager are the only two that's in the whole building. Honest to goodness, it's the truth. The only two. "He's unhappy tonight. All right, Joanne." And so, Arnie Maui. And so, so the food comes, and they bring my burger, and look, my scattered, smothered, and covered hash browns, and it looked like they'd been frozen, thawed out in the sun, and I didn't even see the cheese on it. I went, "What in the world is this?" Because I'd eat at Waffle House plenty of times before. And they bring my friend the breakfast. You're only supposed to get 2 eggs. My friend got 3 eggs. The toast was not even toasted hardly, but and the grits, and there's this big piece of this country ham. And so the guy behind me is still wiggling around. I mean, the booth's still shaking like crazy. And he's got his little granddaughter where you can't see the little tiny thing anyway. And so what are you going to do about that? I said, "I can't do nothing. The dude's 3 times my size, man." I said, "Let's just eat, just don't worry about it." And so I go ahead and bite into my burger. And let me tell you, my burger was great. It was like about 3 minutes out of being killed in a slaughterhouse. In other words, it wasn't cooked. And thank goodness I had Heinz 57 and mayonnaise and ketchup to put all over it. The hash browns weren't even cooked. So my friend said, "Oh, look, I got the better deal, man. I got this breakfast." And so goes and eats, never had grits before. Put grits in my mouth. Said, "Oh my God, that's horrible." I said, "Well, don't eat the grits." "You want them?" "Oh gosh, no, not if you put your mouth in. I don't want the grits." And so the eggs are pretty good. I said, "Eggs good?" "Yeah." I said, "I'm not eating the toast. The toast's not even toasted." He said, "That's white." He said, I just don't want it." And I said, "Well, what about the country ham?" He said, "Is it good to eat?" And I said, "Yeah, it's really salty, but it's not bad." So they take a piece of it, put it in their mouth, and go, "Oh my God, it's so salty. I can't stand it. That's awful." I said, "No, it's not. It's salted ham. That's what country ham is." And the boy from Florida comes back over again and says, "Yeah, ma'am. It's, sir," he said, "this is the way that it is. It's really salty. And there's a sweet ham and there's a country ham. You got the country ham, so it's going to be really salty." And this laying there, my friend said, "I'm not going to eat that." I said, "You sure?" She said, "Yeah, you want it?" I said, "Yeah, I'll eat it." So I'm taking the pieces off and sticking in my mouth, like jerky. And he's just sitting there looking at me like I'm crazy. But it's really, really salty. More salty than I remember, but it's actually pretty good, I thought. And so we finally got eating our terrible meal, got done. I said, "I better hit the head before I go out." So I'm going into the men's room. And it was like Stevie Wonder had gone in there to take a whiz because my shoes were sticking to everything. I mean, like, you could hear them like, that kind of mess. Like there's like 5 years of dried urine on the floor. And I'm looking at it. I said, "We got to get out of here." So I would shake my feet off the best I can on those rugs. We go up to pay for it, which is too much. It's $11.10, $11.50, and get in the car. And so I'm still chewing on that, get that big wad of that country ham in my mouth. I said, this is the only good part of the meal, really. So finally I swallow it, and the next thing that happens, because my friend had said it tasted old, and all of a sudden I get this back taste of like 4-year-old dusty underwear in my mouth. And I'm about trying to throw up and spit this stuff. And my friend's sitting there laughing her butt off. Just think it's hilarious. Oh yeah, country ham tastes like that. It's really good, isn't it? And it took me, I don't know how long to get the taste out of my mouth. I said, I'm not going to go back to any more Waffle Houses. He said, I'm not going to go back to any more Waffle Houses either. And that was the story of the terrible Hades-inspired Waffle House experience at the pinnacle off of 11W intersection with Highway 81. Don't eat at the Waffle Houses when you have a steak and shake, when you got Panda Express, when you got Kentucky Fried Chicken, and everything else that would have probably been good. Don't go for the Waffle House because nobody wants to work there, evidently. It's horrible. Absolutely horrible. I wouldn't tell anybody to do that. But that's the experience. And let's talk about culture for a minute. Don Stakes, my adversary, and adversaries a lot of people on Periscope, now it's gone. He came out and declared today that he was leaving all social media, that he's going to be gone forever. He said it's time for him to leave, and the cult of Stakes is dead. So the cult of Stakes is dead. We win, they lose, and we just go forward. Peace, love, and tranquility, baby. All right? Because Periscope is a good thing. They turn into a bad thing. But hopefully we can turn this into a good thing. All right? Yeah, the bathroom, I know. Honest. Check Yelp first. Yeah, okay, Arnie Maui. And we should have checked Yelp, but we didn't know we were going to stop at the Waffle House. I mean, it was just random, you know. They had all these restaurants in there. You have to see it. It's like a city by itself. Every kind of store. It's got Bass Pro Shop, Dick's Sporting Goods. It's got all these places, these massive buildings everywhere. Movie theaters and car lots and everything in it. But we had to pick a Waffle House. Had to pick a worst Waffle House probably in the whole state. And I can see why they don't have any cooks and nobody waitresses there, because who could stand it? Oh my gosh, it's awful. And as far as being on here, like I said, I've been vacating. I haven't been on here very much. I'm going to change that now because vacation's almost over. But I wanted to let you hear the experience of the Waffle House. I thought that was crazy. I thought that was nuts. Hey, Della Pearl. But that was nuts, and there's no politics involved tonight. We know what Maxine Waters did, the loser, the crazy psycho. I saw the judge lash out at her at the trial. He said what she did could possibly have this overturned whatever way it goes because of what you did. You know, it's just, people are just crazy. I mean, the world's crazy. And I think if it's crazy, you know, I saw Mike Lindell open up his new page today. His site was attacked by everything in the world to try and shut it down. And it started out late as broadcast, and they was attacked. They've been attacked all day long by whoever it is. And they're doing a 48-hour continuous live show on there. And then it'll go back to being, you know, I guess sort of like Parler, but we can do live broadcasts and everything. But he's got that started. And one time I saw there were 68 million people worldwide watching his show. If that's the real numbers, no wonder Twitter and YouTube and Facebook and all these places are trying to bring it down. Because people want to go where the truth is, you know? They're tired of the sickness of it all. You've always heard good things about Waffle House. You haven't been to that Waffle House, trust me. But anyway, folks, that's all I had to say, really. I don't want to cause any controversy. I don't want to say anything bad about anybody. Because that doesn't profit a man. What does it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his soul? And I don't want to say anything bad about anybody except for our elected officials and the unelected officials who are president. President Joe Biden, asterisk fake president. That monstrosity. That stuff, yeah. But that's for a later date. I just thought you might like to hear about our problem with the Waffle House and how, you know, that was terrible. That was absolutely the worst food I've ever eaten in my life. But me and my friend are still alive. we survived, and we're going to make sure we don't eat at a Waffle House again. So, but anyway, oh, by the way, I forget the best part of the story. My friend's sitting there waiting for the waffle that comes with the food. He said, "Where's my waffle?" And I said, "Oh, the guy wasn't paying attention to the timer, and it burnt. I'll get you another one." It burnt a waffle with a big buzzer that tells you it's going off. So within 3 minutes, they bring one back. It is the thinnest waffle without any ridges or anything in it. I mean, it was just a total disaster. It really was. You're welcome. But anyway, folks, have a wonderful night. Take care. God bless you. Remember, God loves you. All he wants you to do is love him back. He will give you peace because he sent peace through his precious son, Jesus, who died on Calvary's tree that we would be saved and we would have eternal life through Jesus Christ, our Lord. Have a wonderful night. God bless you. Take care. And it has been my pleasure to be here again. We'll see you. Oh, yeah, real butter. Oh, I'm glad you said it, Della. They didn't have real butter. They had this whipped weird stuff. This whipped weird stuff. And it was all chemicals. It wouldn't even melt. Now, would you like to get a hot waffle, put that on there, and you're watching, it's not even beginning to melt. It's like yellow lard. It was terrible. It was terrible. Absolutely terrible. But folks, have a good night. Take care. God bless you. And thank you for stopping in. I really appreciate it.